Hello, this is Russ. I'm a third-generation bookkeeper. This video will tell you all about our law firm bookkeeping services. I'd like to start with why we are experts at working with lawyers. I began working with tax attorneys in Washington in 1998 when I worked as a senior consultant at Washington Tax Services. Our lawyers represented clients who were in trouble with the IRS. I then worked with real estate lawyers helping clients avoid foreclosure and obtaining loan modifications. Of course, when that industry fizzled out, I had to go do something else. So I ended up working for the Washington State Bar Association for a little while before I started my bookkeeping company. During my time there, I got to meet a lot of the different people, which turned out to be really useful. I've also been through the courts myself on both sides, and so I have a pretty good grasp of the legal terms and procedures. As a bookkeeper, I've represented several lawyers who were being audited by the bar for overdrawing their trust account, which is why we're known to be experts at handling bookkeeping for law firms. We even have our own MCLE continuing education course on trust accounting, which is listed on the WSBA MCLE course list. I also have worked personally with the lead auditor at the WSBA who helped me to understand what's expected of you and how to ensure your law firm books are being kept up according to their standards and the RPCs. When I first start working with a new lawyer client, I have to ask many of the same questions I would ask any other client. These are things like, who do you bank with? And do you have any partners? Do you have any loans or credit cards? Do you own real estate or do you rent? Are you current on all your tax filings? Do you have employees? Who do you use for payroll? But additionally, there are lawyer-specific questions that I ask as well. And these are things like, what type of law do you practice? Do you accept credit cards? And if so, how are you processing those? Do you use law pay or gravity payments? Sometimes lawyers have multiple trust accounts, and it's been my experience that when processing credit cards, sometimes the funds end up in the wrong account, which can be problematic for a number of reasons and can also lead to some risky outcomes. I would also want to verify how and when credit card fees are being accounted for. I ask if you're using a law firm practice management tool like Clio or Practice Panther. Do you have an IOLTA account? And what records do you keep in order to guarantee that when you transfer funds, you know you're transferring the right amount from IOLTA to operating? So I want to know, how do you track your client's subtrust liabilities? And does your current trust balance match your liability balance? For Department of Revenue, are you taking advantage of the deduction for reimbursable expenses so you don't have to pay B&O on things like filing fees? And for reporting, do you need segmented job costing reports that tell you which section of your business is making what kind of profit? Do you need budgeting or forecasting services? Are your employees paid hourly or salary? Oftentimes in a law firm, lawyers have access to sub-credit cards, sub-accounts of a main credit card. And sometimes those sub-cards are not being managed properly or the reconciliations are not done right. So we want to look into things like that. Another important factor is fixed assets. How are those being handled? Real estate, equipment, furniture. Depending on your situation, some lawyers own a building and rent it back to their law firm. So all of these things have to be considered for your financials to be accurate, and accurate financials is the best way to have the lowest tax. Depending on your response to these questions, of course, there may be some additional follow-up questions. What I find is it's best to just get on the phone and talk about it. Depending on whether you have someone in-house helping out with some of the bookkeeping tasks, we also can do some of those functions. And if you have inside help, we can ensure that they're recording things properly as well as provide oversight so that you can have confidence that your records are complying with IRS and WSBA rules. We often set up calls with our lawyer clients once or twice a week to go over things, since there are commonly individual clients or transactions needing to be discussed. On the customer invoicing side of things, although we're not usually responsible for entering the build time, for some of our clients we convert their build time from QuickBooks or their practice management tool to an actual invoice. We do prepare invoices, send a report of your accounts receivable to you to review, and send out invoices to your clients. If they don't pay, we can rebill them, and once they do pay, we'll make sure that the payment is correctly applied to their invoice, as well as update the balance in any subtrust liability account so that you always know which clients are the ones you should be spending your time working on. Too often I see lawyers spending time working on clients who owe them money and neglecting the clients who have money available in their trust account that they could be billing to. We all know that in business, cash is king, and when it comes to small businesses, lawyers usually want weekly or bi-weekly reports that tell how much billing has been done and how much money can be transferred from trust to operating. After collecting your answers on a short phone call, you'll receive a written bookkeeping plan that outlines all of the tasks that are necessary to get your bookkeeping completely caught up, as well as the tasks that will need to be done to keep things current. I hope that from this video, you can see that not only do we have a lot of experience working with lawyers, but we understand the subtle nuances and how to determine what's the best way to manage your bookkeeping so that you'll have high-quality financials you can count on without paying exorbitant costs, as many of the day-to-day accounting functions can be handled through use of technology and efficient practices. If you'd like to learn more about our law firm bookkeeping or to get a custom bookkeeping quote for your firm, please schedule an appointment through our website or simply give us a call and we will be happy to help you. Again, I'm Russ from Sound Bookkeepers.